I'm going to start by saying I get the same question from a lot of people when they're thinking about a new mattress. Is this really worth the price, or am I just buying another fancy box of foam that will lose its support after a few months? I've spent a weekend actually moving a boxed mattress into a guest room, laying it out, and sleeping on it through a couple of nights, and I'm going to walk you through what that felt like, what the numbers mean in everyday life, and who should actually consider the Nectar Luxe 14-inch hybrid. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's get into why that matters. First, the setup. The packaging is what most people think of as easy. The mattress comes in a compact box that you can maneuver through a standard doorway without much hassle. I just rolled it out onto a platform bed, removed the plastic cover, and let it expand. The brand says it takes a few hours to fully unbox, and honestly, that's exactly what happened. There was a faint initial new mattress smell that dissipated after a night of ventilation. No special tools, no need for a second person, just a little patience, and you're good to go. That's a real win for anyone who lives in a city apartment or who isn't looking to hire movers. Now, why does the hybrid part matter? The Luxe version combines 2 layers of memory foam, one that's an extra 2 inches thick for contouring with a layer of individually wrapped inner spring coils. In plain language, the foam gives you the body-hugging feel that helps with pressure points, while the coils add a bit of bounce and help keep the mattress from feeling too sinky. When I lay down, the first thing I notice is how quickly the foam starts to feel like it's responding to my hips and shoulders. Within the first 30 seconds, you get that slight sinking sensation that we all associate with a plush, supportive bed. The coils underneath then push back just enough to prevent that feeling of being swallowed. If you're a side sleeper with a bit of shoulder or hip pain, that pressure relief aspect is the most noticeable benefit. The product claims 3x more pressure relief, and from my experience, the extra 2 inches of contouring foam actually made the difference between waking up with a sore shoulder and feeling completely rested. I also tried it on my back, and the combination of foam and coils provided a gentle lift that kept my spine aligned without forcing me into a rigid flat position. For people who have chronic lower back issues, that balance can be a game changer. That said, the hybrid design isn't a miracle cure for every ailment. If you're a very heavy sleeper who needs a really firm surface to keep you from rolling too deep, the Luxe might feel a bit too soft once the foam fully settles. The memory foam does have a slow return to its original shape, so after a night of heavy tossing, you'll find the surface a little more indented than a traditional inner spring mattress. For those who like a firmer, more on-edge feeling, think of a mattress that keeps you perched rather than cradled. The Luxe could feel a tad too forgiving. That's an important trade-off to recognize before you click add to cart. Cooling is another real-world concern. The Luxe advertises 2x more cooling fibers compared to the classic model, and that's not just marketing fluff. The top layer of the mattress incorporates a breathable cover and specialized cooling gel foam that actually draws heat away from your body. During a warm summer night, I didn't feel the typical sticky heat buildup that some all-foam mattresses produce. Instead, the surface stayed relatively cool, and the coil layer helped disperse any residual heat. However, if you live in a very humid climate, you might still notice some warmth after a few hours, because no foam can completely eliminate body heat. For most moderate climates, the additional cooling fibers are a practical improvement over a plain foam model. One of the most common concerns when buying a mattress online is motion transfer. If you share the bed with a partner, you want to know whether you'll feel every turn or shift. The individually wrapped coils do a decent job of isolating motion, but the memory foam layers still transmit some subtle movement. In my testing, my partner's nighttime leg twitch was noticeable, but it didn't jolt me awake. If you're a light sleeper who's easily disturbed, a fully pocket coil mattress without as much foam might give you cleaner isolation. So, the Luxe hits a middle ground, good enough for most couples, but not the ultimate solution for the most sensitive sleepers. Durability is hard to gauge in a short test period, but the construction clues give some insight. The coil system is built with reinforced steel, and each coil is wrapped in its own fabric, which should help reduce the chance of bottoming out over time. The memory foam layers use higher density foams that tend to retain shape longer than lower grade alternatives. Many customers worry,